April can be extremely busy when it comes to sowing seeds. And today I'm going to show you no less than 15 crops that I'll be sowing. Let's go! All right, we're going to start off with one of my favorite families of vegetables, the cucumber family, and I'm going to sow 5 different ones. I'm going to sow, of course, the cucumber, the courgette, and 3 different kinds of pumpkins. First, I'm going to start off with the humble cucumber, and my experience is that if you have 2 plants, it is about enough for an entire family. So I'm going to sow 4 seeds and pick the best seedlings from those 4 seeds. I'm gonna sow 1 seed in each plug tray, and again I'm going to pick the 2 best seedlings. Next up, I'm going to sow some courgette seeds. This one is called Defender F1. It's the same type that I've sown last year, but in contrast to last year, I'm going to sow in succession because last year I had 4 plants and there were just too many courgettes for us to eat. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sow a few seeds now, and in about 4 weeks I'm going to sow another batch of them. I've noticed that I only have 6 seeds left, so I'm going to plant 3 of them now and then 3 of them later. So hopefully 2 of them will sprout and be effective. So that's 3 over here, and the last pluck will remain empty. And of course I'm going to put a label, because otherwise I will have no idea what is what. Next up will be the butternut squash. Big fan of butternut squash. I have a little tissue over here with some seeds that we harvested from a butternut from the supermarket. And once they have sprouted, I'm going to plant them in the corner trellises just like last year. The butternut is really a sprawling and crawling type of pumpkin. Not all of them are, but this one is. And it's my idea to have them crawl up into the corner trellises. I want to plant 4 plants around the corner trellises, so to double my chances of a proper germination, I'm going to sow 8 seeds in the plug trays, 2 per plug tray. These seeds are relatively small if you compare them to other pumpkin seeds, but nevertheless they will become a very big plant. Okay, 2 more pumpkin seeds to go. The next one will be the kabocha pumpkin. Now this one produces beautiful dark green pumpkins. I also harvested these seeds from the pumpkins of last year, and recently we made a beautifully tasting soup with one of those kabocha pumpkins of last year, so I can't wait to harvest it again this year. And lastly, I'm going to sow a few spaghetti pumpkin seeds. Now I've never grown these before, and again I've harvested the seeds from a spaghetti pumpkin from the supermarket. That was a complete surprise for us because we heard that if you cook them or you grill them, that the interior of the pumpkin will become like spaghetti, obviously. But to actually experience that, it was a complete surprise, and it was really, really nice to eat it. So that made me decide to grow them this year. All right, that's everything from the pumpkin and cucumber family. I also want to sow some herbs to enrich the kitchen. So what I have over here is some sage, some lemongrass, and a few self-harvested basil seeds or basil. I have some space left in my seed tray, so I'm going to divide them in there. First off, the lemongrass. I just opened up this package and I noticed that these are the smallest and fluffiest seeds ever. Or maybe not the smallest, but they are very light. I'm just gonna stuff a few in the seed trays, hoping that it will be enough. Probably way too much, but we'll see. Next up is going to be the sage. Sage is a pretty potent smelling and tasting herb, so I'm only going to sow a few of those. The seeds are a bit bigger than I expected. Little round knobs. Again, cover those up. There. Last is basil. Now, if you've ever allowed basil to bolt and collect your own seeds, you'll know that you'll have enough seeds for the rest of your life. So we have I don't know, about 200 seeds in this envelope alone. And I'm just going to sprinkle a few in the last plug trays over here. Basil, of course, can be used in a lot of different ways in your kitchen, but they also tend to be good companion plants for tomatoes and other plants that you're sowing. Oh. Lightly covering them up. And then, of course, we're going to water them in. I call them hyena birds. Finally, we're going to put in the labels because otherwise I'm going to forget completely what I've sown. Another thing I'm going to sow or plant in April are my main crop potatoes. This is a variety called Alouette, and they have been chitting on my windowsill for a few weeks. I'm going to let them do that for another few weeks, and then I'm going to plant them in their grow beds. A quick update on the first early potatoes called Annabelle. They have been sprouting and growing foliage now, and I really can't wait to harvest them, but that will be done in about another 2 months or so. Next up on our list is the Brassica family, and I'm going to sow 4 of them, starting off with the good old broccoli. Last year I grew some purple sprouting broccoli, but that wasn't the biggest success, so I'm gonna try my luck with the regular broccoli. I'm going to sow about 2 to 3 seeds per plug tray, and then of course we're going to water them in. Second on our list is Chinese cabbage. Good nutty flavor, really good in stir fries, and a typical vegetable in the Asian cuisine. The rule of thumb of how deep to sow your seeds is about as deep as they are big. Third is going to be pak choi or pak choi or bok choy or bok choy. I keep hearing different pronunciations, so I'm a little bit confused, but very similar to Chinese cabbage. Again, a vegetable that is great in stir fries and tends to grow pretty fast. Again, I'm going to sow about 2 to 3 per plug tray, and I'll keep the seedling that is strongest and biggest. And the final crop from the Brassica family that we are going to sow is kohlrabi. Now, kohlrabi surprised me a little bit. I managed to grow a single kohlrabi in the garden back at home, and I thought it would be a boring, earthy tasting vegetable, but I have to say it was a lot better than I expected, and it's especially good if you combine it with, for example, fresh apple slices. So give that a try if you ever sow kohlrabi. Now, a fair warning when you're sowing brassica, especially different kinds. All the seeds are very small. They look like these little black and brown marbles. As well as the seedlings, they also look alike. So in this case, labeling is extra important if you don't want to get confused. April is really the month that you can start sowing your carb-heavy vegetables, and so of course I'm going to sow some sweet corn. This variety over here is called Tasty Sweet. I have no experience with it, but the package actually tells us that it holds twice as much sugar as regular sweet corn, so we'll see how that develops in the coming months. And I'm going to sow about 16 of them, 2 rows of the plug tray. You can choose to soak your corn overnight just to make germination a little bit easier. I haven't done so because I just bought them in the store an hour ago, but I don't think it will be a problem. There. And lastly, I'm going to sow some more iceberg lettuce. Now, I have sown these last month, but none of the seeds have germinated, which is a shame because I like my iceberg lettuce. So I bought a new package and I'm just gonna sow a few rows in the plug trays and hope for the best. Yes, 24 degrees and I am singing a Christmas song. All right, water them, label them, on to the next thing. The last thing I'm going to do is to sow some flowers, and this is mainly to attract pollinators to the garden, but also add a splash of color to it. I've just sown a few echinacea seeds as well as a whole bunch of marigold seeds, probably way too many. And over here in the middle, I refreshed the flower bed that I created last year. I've put some fresh compost on it as well as added a few sticks to the edge. And I'm going to sow some borage seeds in there as well as a few artichoke seeds. Now, I did that last year as well. However, what I did not realize is how fast and how quickly borage can grow. And it completely overshadowed and smothered the artichoke seeds or the artichoke plants. So what I'm going to do this year to prevent that is to sow the borage at the very edge of the bed and the artichoke seeds in the middle. As you can see, there is so much to do in April. What crops are you sowing? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, bye bye.